Hello, my name is Iskender Aznaur, 14 years of Cuber and 12 years of competing. I'm here to start a new project called DNF Talks, which I love to invite and host people I admire in the cubing community. Our first guest is Ton Dennenbroek, right?
Right.
Okay, I said it right. Ton is an experienced cuber, very experienced, 231 competitions so far. And since the 2003 first competition in the WCA he attended and probably solving way before it. We will have a nice conversation with him and I hope we will enjoy it. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Introduce yourself first.
Yeah, I'm Ton Dennenbroek. I'm 64 years old, maybe too old, but I'm originally a computer engineer, and then I went from computer engineer to technical lead engineer. So that's why I'm married. Met Maria, also a cuber. So, and she has also over 200 competitions.
200. She is
200.
here with us with a team of competitors from Netherlands. Come to competition in Istanbul. We have a chance to meet Ton and this conversation.
So I started, of course, cubing in the 80s and restarted speed cubing in 1999. So that's, at first I could solve it in the 80s, but I was not that fast. I was like 35 seconds.
35 is so fast, especially for that time.
No, that time was already 17 to 20 seconds.
Well, that's world record, you mean, not a regular.
No.
If you compare it right now, the world record is like 4 seconds average. If you do it in 8 seconds, that's good. 8 is still so good right now, but you just multiply it by 2 for the time.
And in the 80s, there was, of course, in the Netherlands, there was a Cubing Association.
There was.
In the 80s, but I didn't know that. But Anneke van Treep, Mark Waterman, those were involved in cubing algorithms. And that was picked up much later in 1999. So, and then speed cubing algorithms were developed.
In 80s, you started. The main question is how you know about that there's a puzzle, Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
How you solved it? That's the main question. Because, you know, in the 80s, there was no internet,
No, I figured out myself. So I had a bit of a problem because my school friend had the cube and I couldn't afford it. So I went to his place, play around a bit. I went home, made some pictures to design algorithms, more or less. And then I had the first algorithm designed. And then I went back to my friend's place and then I could solve it after a week. And then I bought one.
Was it too expensive to boot or?
Yeah, I was a student. But I remember my first Rubik. So it was in an apartment store. And I can still remember when I came up the escalator and there was a table full of those cylinders. And I can still picture that moment. So it really impressed me that puzzle.
There are 2 important times for me to remember in cubing life. First time I finished cube and I looked, okay, it's solved. And first time my successful blind solve.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, after maybe 100 or 200 fails. You solved it yourself.
Yeah.
You were a student in college or high school?
Yeah, it was high school.
That's too much. If you said I was in college, I would say, okay, you're good with algorithms because you engineer of computer.
No, that was before.
That is really hard thing, you know. Sometimes people come to me asking, can I solve it myself? I say, I met only one person who could solve it. It was Ron, but you're the second one.
My method doesn't look anything that is on paper from anyone else. So it looks a bit, it is not a corners first. It was also in steps, of course.
There are a lot of methods right now. You kind of answered my question. You said it was like corner first. When I learned cycles of Chris Hardwick, I tried to solve every puzzle possible, twisted puzzle, and it helped too much. Have you ever tried something like cycles?
Yeah, of course. The method of puzzling like a twisty puzzle is, now I know the terms, of course. Those days I didn't have terms for it. But you find 3 cycles. If there is an odd parity, then you have a 2 cycle or 4 cycle, or 3 cycle, 4 cycle. Depends on the algorithms that are puzzle on the puzzle. So in theory, because you learn yourself the mechanisms of any twisty puzzle. So I have a big collection of puzzles. But some puzzles, like the puck puzzle, I just calculated by hand with the algorithms. Then you can calculate and then you can, now you can do it by computer, of course. But then you calculate by hand and you have a 17 steps movement for just a cycle for the puck puzzle. But then you can just calculate it. But now you do that by computer. So that's very fast, of course.
When you speak about stuff you made, it reminds me of Pivot Smooth concept. Have you ever tried Pivot Smooth?
Yeah, but not the specialized method. It's not like now they have specialized methods. Just do a bit of bit guessing, block building, and then if you are lucky, you have 31. So the nice thing, my record is 31. But then again, that record was set with 8 others in the same competition. So it was a big podium with 31. So that was funny.
When we go to records, you got 100 in 2005, multi-blind.
Yeah, that was amazing. I didn't know. I didn't have really a system for two cubes. I just roughly remembered. And then, and when I was finished, yeah. But that time I had some competitions like Erik Akkersdijk, who went also a bit of an expert in
Cuberman, right? Right now, his alias is Cuberman, I think, on the Instagram.
Yeah, so I beat him in his young days.
Erik's a fun guy.
So for the one hand, that is not really a record because I just was the first Dutch guy.
Still records.
Yeah, okay, but not amazing record. Yeah. But the blindfold was amazing for me. That don't have really method to remember 2. I just was hard-coded remembering 2. Not like a system for 2 or 3 or 4 or more.
And it says like 19 minutes 47 seconds. Not that good for the time, but especially for that days, 2005, not so much methods, not so much memorizing stuffs, and not practicing too much.
No.
I know you're still faster than me.
Yeah.
I only could solve once, like under 3 minutes. It was an hour back in days. Yeah. Right now I can't solve it. I never could solve 2 cubes. That's another level.
Yeah. But it is fun to do blindfold cubing.
So first competition, World Rubik's Games Championship. Who came up with the idea?
In 1999, it really started in 1999 when Ron, me, and Chris Hardweg met each other on internet with the Rubik's Games.
Rubik's Games. What was Rubik's Games?
That was a computer game, and you have to solve puzzles like Rubik's Cube and other puzzles, and you can beat times, so you had a time record. So and then Ron noticed that I beat him, he beat me, Chris beat us, so it was back and forward. And Ron noticed by my name that I must be Dutch, so he contacted me. Then we met, of course, and then Ron asked Chris Hardweg, who had a Yahoo community already for speed cubing. We joined, and Ron came up with the name Speed Cubing, so that's why speedcubing.com exists. He invented the name, and so we joined efforts in the community, speedcubing.com, and of course there was interest also in trying to make World Championship happening, and Dan Cosby was one of the initiators also. Yeah, you never heard of Dan Cosby now because he was more like an organizer than a speed cuber. So he tried to also set it up with us, and then we I don't know who find 7 Ounce, but they were sponsoring it. I'm still grateful for 7 Ounce. They are no longer have the brand licensed. So, but in those days there was Chrissy and other from 7 Ounce that helped us a lot. They went and organized competitions like crazy, and that helped us to grow the community.
There is an intro of Mission Impossible films, movies. There's a lighting and it goes all the way to bomb. They literally help to lit up.
If it was not, of course, there's also commercial interest there for 7 Ounce that days. But if you look at the people that behind 7 Ounce, they were just also had fun with it and fun with the community.
Yes, I see 88 people, 2 good number for the days. It was in Toronto. Do you remember why it was in Toronto, Canada?
No, I don't know why. There was just a space.
All the space maybe you could find.
I don't know who thought of. I think but maybe Dan Cosby knows, probably.
Maybe we'll contact him. So, what was it like for the first competition? You met up so many cubers in person.
Yeah, so we first started pre-competition in the Netherlands. Ron organized it and I helped him. And we had Jessica Friedrich also joining us. It was very smallish. And then...
Do you remember how many people attended?
Maybe 20 or so.
That's a good number still.
Yeah, but that's not too bad. But from there, we tried to grow. We had only a few timers. We sponsored ourselves. So the competitions were 40, 60 for a long time. And yeah, maybe last 5 years ago, it exploded.
Exploded literally, exponentially. Even in Turkey, it really grew out so much. After the COVID stuff, old cubers started to retire and new cubers started.
Yeah. And especially the youngsters, they come in like 10, 12. And if you say 5 years ago and someone says, I know one can solve it, like 10 seconds or lower. So now I know everyone that can do 10 seconds. But nowadays, they come out of nowhere and they solve it in the 10 seconds or so.
You know what I recognized on the newbies? The younger they are eager to share the cubing stuff with their friends. They teach their friends. They want them to attend competitions. Maybe it helped so much to communicate community.
Yeah. But the difference between the youngsters now, it is very rare if they solve it themselves. They just learn the algorithms, they learn the mechanisms of the algorithms, and of course you also can now buy trainings. Felix Semdex and other speedcubers. You can apply for a subscription or a contact. Then you have personal training. So yeah, that is of course out of my league for those things.
So you're a delegate. When did you become a delegate?
Now I started of course with Ron, but officially I think it is in 2005 was my first competition that I did myself. I started up in Czech in other countries. I helped Ron a lot, and then I started up also some countries. I started with Maria. Maria wanted to start in Indonesia. How many kilometers away? And organize from here. It is difficult. So, but I said, okay, if you find us a room, I do the rest. I find the sponsors, etc. I thought that never happens. But Maria has very good contacts, big network she had the space in a luxury hotel, very luxurious. So now was it my turn to find a sponsor, but because of my contact of 7 towns, I could find a distributor, and he helped us a lot. And then I arranged everything from here and then we had one day to prepare everything. So it can be done remotely. Then you have to kind of check list. I have to have this. In the early days, me and Ron did everything. So we have that checklist, how it works, how to make things working. But now we have a complete team. Now we need a team of 10 to organize competitions. So me and Ron are especially only delegating. And now finally, the last 2 years, we also have new delegates now appearing in the Netherlands. So this is the first year. Last year was the first year that Ron and me didn't attend the competition, and there were delegates. And that happens now. There are competitions without me or Ron starting competitions.
Finally, you will enjoy competitions.
Yeah. If you compare, I do a lot in other countries. So I have only a few in the Netherlands, but most are in other countries like England, Spain, Germany, Turkey.
In 2013, I was the first delegate till 2020. Then we have right now 4 delegates. By the time I got that checklist from Ron, I know how detailed it is. Oh my God, what is that? I even sometimes ask him. And I was doing it myself, but right now we have a great team, as you say.
Yeah.
They literally do a lot of, and by the help of other programs such as GroupFire and WCA Live.
Also, WCA has an experienced team that makes the tooling. Before that, we did everything in Excel, but now we have a complete professional team that doing all the support for the communities. There's not one community, there's a lot of communities.
So 231 competitions, and how many countries?
No clue. Maybe 18 something. There's not many.
18?
18 or 20? Yeah, I don't know.
Too low for the 200.
No, I did many same countries.
Because, Ron has lots of countries.
Yeah, but he collects them. So for him, it is a sport to start up a country. So I start up Indonesia. Then what you do first, find the people that can be responsible for something and ask them to become a delegate.
That's me in Turkey.
Yeah. So what Ron is doing, he goes to very strange, obscure countries, like he's now going to Ghana. He probably will find someone to speed up as a delegate there. So he has the most countries to start a competition.
And haircut.
Yeah. So he collects countries as a hobby. He collects haircuts, and he has strange hobbies.
Normally, I would love to talk too much about Ron, but it's in his episode. I'll ask him too many questions. So, 231 competitions. Which one is your favorite?
Competition?
Yes.
I think still the one that I set blindfold, multi-blindfold.
Because of the record, or?
No, because I was surprised that I solved it.
Dutch Open 2007.
Yeah. So sometimes you amaze yourself with a personal record. The year before I did the Pyramix, I want to be the fastest above 60, and I succeeded. So I beat Jesus Masaret with the Pyramix. So I was chasing him. I succeeded, so now I am the fastest, still at this moment in Pyramix. And so I also try to be the fastest 3x3, fastest 3x3 above 60. And nowadays I see that the same thing in Maria just became 60. So now he is chasing the records for 60. So now at this moment, that's the nice thing of statistics. We are the fastest couple above 60. Of course, the next generation will blow us away, but at this moment,
pretty sure they will go all the way up to solving cubes 60 because you, the one who literally came up with the idea first competition, so you love cube and you gave too much into cubing community. This is why it's kind of a piece of you. Right now, as we said, the young people learn it from internet. The more you put into something, the more you own it.
Yeah. But nowadays also we ask cubers to come to our place, and then we ask them how they solve. We also try to learn from others. So the only thing that I learn youngsters is not look ahead. The look ahead is the most important one, and that is only when you do slow turning or turning in rhythm. If you solve a cube in a rhythm, the same flow, and you speed it up, that makes you faster. But nowadays that only works for some people because they are so fast hands. So I can do 6 to 8 seconds for some algorithms, but they do 16 a second.
That's crazy.
So they must process in their mind. They must process much faster as an average person. They have dexterity. That's amazing. And they also have talent for the puzzle itself to learn the algorithms. They have to learn it and practice it. And if you have all those things, dedication, fast dexterity, it's not specific smart mind, but at least they process a lot faster. So I know of Matthias Kuti. He was tested in hospital because Rubik was curious why he was so fast, but he processed in his mind much faster, like twice fast as a normal person. So you have an average how you act on, you see and you act, and he was twice as fast. And probably the top cubers are even much faster in processing, see and do as an average person.
Right now, world record holder is like 9 years old or something like this. It's crazy.
Yeah, but the younger you are, what you do is you more or less program your brain. Also, if you are older, you program an algorithm in your brain. And if you are younger, your brain is learning itself the patterns. So the younger you are, your brain will be specialized in those things. Yeah. So the younger you are, the most profitable you have throughout your whole life.
Sometimes people ask me, I'm not full OLL, 57 algorithms too much for me. I didn't memorize all. Oh, you were doing 14 years. Why not memorize? In the first year, there was no competition. In the second year, I was too old for that.
No, it's not too old. No. Because I was also had my own algorithms, and Ron pushed me. No, you have to. I forced myself to learn all the algorithms for the basic stuff. And of course, throughout the years, I add something or delete something or change something. But there's not a very amazing set of algorithms because normally I do now 20 a second normally. But if you would practice much more, like 4 hours a day, what the champions do, then I would be able to do 16 average because my record is 16.6. But it is the time. So if you compare it, my dexterity is not very well now because I also have bad fingers now. But for speed cubing, yeah, of course, it doesn't help, of course. But normally I only use like 6 fingers, and those are supporting fingers. So the dexterity is in those fingers. But if you compare it to others, they have the dexterity and they learn faster. I learn fast compared to my age category, but I can also compare it to in my work environment. I outperform all my colleagues. So there is something in us that makes us process faster.
Because of cubing or because of
that is how we are built. So the average person that also in the 80s that were fast, probably there are faster thinkers at average. Yeah, I'm also a mathematician. That's also a talent that helps, but it's not a must. If you are young now, you can learn everything from internet, and you don't have to be a brilliant youngster or whatever, or a special person to do it.
We said we can teach to blunts, like
said. But if I look compared to my older brother, who's a baker, he's a smart guy, but he is a baker. And I learned cube on holiday in 30 minutes, and from that he could do the cube in 3 minutes. If you understand the basics of how to puzzle, so that I taught my older brother.
Sorry, he learned in 30 minutes.
He learned in 30 minutes. Yes. If you know the cube, how you solve it yourself, you can also teach how to puzzle. But he doesn't practice now, so he cannot solve it now.
Same for my brother. It was the officially slowest competitor in Turkey. Sometimes people ask me, "Oh, I'm slow. Can I attend?" Slowest one is my brother. Only one person he couldn't pass my brother was a blind kid.
Yeah.
Literally a blind kid. And at that competition, we had 8 blind kids. 7 was faster than my brother. 1 couldn't pass my brother. And I make fun of him. You only pass 1 person and he's a blind kid.
Yeah, but we designed a booklet, Ron and I, a bit of mathematics behind it. But it also teaches you how to puzzle it. There is explained how a 3 cycle works, how an algorithm works.
I want to see that book, whatever.
It's on speedcubing.com. It's still, the booklet is still there.
I will check it because I'm really interested in stuff. First time I started cubing, I learned it from Rubiks.com, which shows A term and U term with the F algorithms. After that, I saw BH cycles of Chris Hardwick. I tried to learn cycles. It was hard for me. I understood very little. Then I found out Petrus method. I practiced it. Then I found out ZZ. Then I found out CFOP. That was fun.
But I can show you what. But you see here, you have a 3 cycle of corners. And it's red, down, half them up. No, that's so.
You came up with the idea?
Yeah, that is basically how you can solve 3 cycles. Because you know the principle, it's back forward. That's communicators.
That's very nice.
But that principle you can transfer to any puzzle.
Any twist puzzle or
any twisty puzzle? Any twisty puzzle.
Okay. In 2003, you had 2 competitions. 2004, 4 competitions, getting grower every year. And in the first, you were like 33.93 seconds on single in word. First round and final. 2 rounds only. Yes. There's a 2 souls on your final.
Oh, that was, I think, a cutoff there.
Cutoff for 3x3 is the, like, wild thing.
Yeah.
Then you started increasing your times better till 2013. What happened after 2013? Because 16.92.
Yeah, that was amazing. So that my average record is
61.
61. That was one of the first competitions that I had to compete in a final with Masvalk, etc. So you never win, of course. But at that time, my mindset was really switched on. I cannot explain it. So everything was right. So your mindset was right. Your hand-eye coordination was exact, was on time. And my look ahead was amazing. And that made it possible to have 16.6. There's even like a 13 is there.
14 place.
Yeah.
That's good. Being in the country with Masvalk and Erik Akkersdijk, literally being third is a great achievement there.
Yeah, and I can never repeat that same moment when I set that record. Even with 231, of course, top cubers can. They are still nervous. They have still shaking hands. But yeah, doesn't help for me. Like darts is also hand-eye coordination. You can see that in sports where hand-eye coordination is a must and you have high adrenaline, the top cubers can use it to speed up even with adrenaline is high. And for like my simple people, it doesn't help. So I have to slow down.
Same for me. I know 13 seconds, 12 seconds is not fast for much people right now, but it's fast for me. Sometimes I do 11. There's a competitor, maybe Ecevit Ablak is like 47 years old. He's a father of Turkish record holder. He was coming competition. He learned how to solve, and he was watching myself. He was a runner. He stopped, watched it. When I finished, it's 18 seconds. He checked timer. 11. How is possible? You solve very slow. Yes.
Yeah.
Because when I try to get faster, I always fail.
Yeah, but the strange thing, I only have my adrenaline is only high when I compete in 3x3. I don't have that same problem in 2x2 or Pyramix or Makerminx or 4x4. Only 3x3.
Same here.
So, that doesn't help to speed up to the 3x3. Then I have to slow down to be fast.
Do you practice a lot?
No.
From competitions to competitions?
Only if the competition is upcoming, like this competition, I practice maybe 1 hour a day. And then this time I concentrate on the Makerminx.
Oh, nice. Sometimes I literally don't solve cubes for a week or so because running a lot and no time to solve cube.
Normally, if there is a competition, 1 week before, I do an hour a day, so many solves. I don't have that much time.
Do you think you can speed up after so many years?
Yeah. Of course, I can speed up things. So you have to learn new methods. Like before, I need to learn the Yao method. I need more practice time to be fast. I cannot spend 4 hours a day. But it is possible. If I had the time and you have the dedication to spend time on it, then you get faster. So for big cubes, like a Makerminx is a strange puzzle because there is a lot of intuition in the solving. You only learn by doing. And of course, you learn from others. You can look on the internet and you get some tips and tricks, and you can incorporate in practice that. But the real stuff there, especially for the Megamix, is just do it. And for like a Pyramix, it's the same. The hand-eye coordination must be fast enough. Just practice, 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 practice. So last year, when I beat the Pyramix, the fastest above 60, I dedicated myself to do 12 solves a day. In most of that year, I did that. Then you have that result.
7.75.
Yeah, of course, it's also a bit luck, but the dedication in that moment, that was solving regularly 12 solves a day.
Why 12?
You pick a number. It can also be 100, but I cannot, my hands get tired if I do 100.
Sometimes I try to do average of 100. First 20 solves are good. After 50, I start to thinking a lot of things, but cubing, my hands go higher up.
But so 12 is for me a good number. You don't get amazing speeds. You want to achieve something, then you have to spend time on it. Now I spend time for the Megamix. That's a bit of a nasty puzzle, because if you don't practice it, you have to learn all your algorithms for the last layer, because
Megamix.
The Megamix, you need a lot of practice for that one.
I solved Megamix when I first got in 2014. Out of the package, I took it. I tried to solve it. It took like 30 minutes or so. Then, okay, I'm done with it still. And that's slow. At best, I could go for like 4 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, but also now the mechanism is much better now. So the new cubes are amazing. I also have a mechanism from the early days. They are hard to turn.
Especially new mechanism helped too much for scrambles as well, because I remember it was hard for me to scramble 4x4. I made a lot of miss scrambles. I was not that fast. I was not that good back in days. But right now with the magnets, literally I can do 7x7, 6x6, no problem. Megamix, I try to learn Megamix and just to scramble it. Right now, sometimes I make 10 out of 10 scrambles perfectly. I see you competed all events, but 5 blind, 4 blind?
No, that's not on the list.
Okay. Old multi-blind, new multi-blind, magic. Where is the Master Magic? You never competed in Master Magic?
No.
Why?
It's not a puzzle, it's just dexterity.
Okay. So after this many years, you started 83, right? When was your first start? No, not speedcubing. First time in high school.
Yeah.
First time you solved Rubik's Cube in your life.
I was 20.
You solved all the way up to 1999, or you gave up cubing?
No, I could solve it, and then I was more like a collector. So I was more like a collector of cubes, and so I collect throughout the years until 1999, when the Rubik's came, and I met Ron. He pushed me to do speed cubing.
Until then, you always solved it.
I could solve it like 40 seconds, 35 seconds, and a low record of 28 or whatever. Normally 40, 35 seconds. That was when I was much younger, and now I'm much older, but still faster than those days.
What do you think cubing has put in your life? What's the benefits of cubing for you?
If you can solve a cube in front of people, they think that you are very smart. So that helps. So I did it sometimes at solicitations for a job, and then it's my hobby. Or I showed off at customer side. Oh, he must be very smart. You don't have to be very smart to solve a cube, but it helps, of course. What the cube helps me, especially what it learned me, that is nothing is impossible. So I first thought I can never be under 20 seconds. So I set myself a limit. In my brain, you set yourself a mental limit. Then I learned you never must put a limit for yourself. I cannot break this limit. In your profession or whatever you do, if you set a limit in your brain, you stop.
You can put an aim goal, but you can't.
But if you think, no, I'm human, he's a human, he's faster, so I can also be faster. Maybe I'm not that talented, but with dedication and more training, I can also do that. That is what I learned. So it also my job, if I have something new, because I do a lot of innovation throughout my years, 35 years of test engineering, etc. And if something is new, completely new, you can Google a bit, but I can ask no one because I'm the first doing it. So I'm always in something that I do first, and I can never ask someone. And I never said I cannot do it or I will fail. No, I always assume I will succeed no matter what. And I never set a limit, I cannot do it. So that is is what I learned with the cube. Never set a limit in what you are doing. Always set a goal that is possible. And of course, and when your goal is there, you can
reset up
reset.
goal.
Yeah.
My first goal when I started cubing, 5 minutes. So I could do 2 times in my 10 minutes break. It was like 1 week achievement. After 1 week, it was easily like under 2 minutes. And first year of my high school, there was a kid in my high school. He was trying to solve cubes and he said, there are people in the world who can solve with blindfold. I was like, go off, man. It's not possible. It's a fake. And in the last year of my high school, I learned how to solve blindfolded. I could solve it. And I said, never speak so big like you say. If you say you can, literally you can't. But if you say I can, maybe you can. Not for sure. For example, I can say, I will break world record. Too late for me. Last question for the community. What you like most about cubing community and cubers?
Now, the most thing I like of the community that they share a lot with each other. They have fun with each other and they compete with each other. So also the new youngsters, they have fun, they compete with each other. And yeah, they of course sad that when they lose, but there's only one winner, of course. So there are many losers. That also try to learn that if someone is upset because there can only be one winner and a lot of losers, but you can beat your own records. That is the most important one.
They're rivals and good friends as well.
They are not rivals. That's only on the top level.
I mean, rivals, friendly rivals, not like rivals. They enjoy a lot. So this is why I tell, especially when first time they try to attend, they call me, they text me, they mail me. When they contact me, they say, okay, he's slow. Can he win? Do we need to attend? I say, if he wants to improve, he should attend competitions. He will meet a lot of friends. He will see what is possible and he will make new friends who will push him further, faster.
My previous, they never set a limit. So I meet also a lot of parents. I'm 60, I can solve it. So you can solve it. No, I cannot do it. No, that's not true. You don't want to spend the time on it. That might be true. But you cannot say, I cannot solve it. No, you don't want to spend time on it. If you spend time on it, you can solve it. That's a mindset thing.
Well, what do you think we should put this episode's name? We can choose it or I will choose it.
Never set a limit.
Never set a limit. Okay. Never set a limit from Uncle Cuber. Thanks for Ton Dennenbroek as a guest. We enjoyed ourselves and I hope you enjoy the first episode of DNF Talks. Thank you and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching.